Right, silence! Silence. Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome. And Alcazai is late. Now, I don't know how late it's going to be.
Typical liberal.
Typical liberal, yeah. So, with us is a guest. Now, be warned, he is of the chosen people. And his name is Chadus Judeus on here. But how would you like to be referred to as on the stream from here on out? Is it Roy? Should we call you
Shane.
Roy? Shane? Shane?
Yes.
Are you Irish now?
Shane. No.
So, again, with us as usual is Mr. Chicago Liberal. Yo!
Yeah, the person who knows how to be here on time.
Indeed. Alcazai, on the other hand, he just cannot. It's just impossible for him. He's always late. That's not true. But he is now. Hashtag Alcazai is always late.
Impeach him.
Well, he's not the president, so we cannot impeach Alcazai.
That's sad.
Bro, why do you want to put Alcazar in a P?
I know. Well, he'd like that, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we've only got a few topics, but we can always talk about other stuff that props up. But, anyway, Kim Jong-un might be dead.
Yes.
Now,
About that.
although his sister's even worse, but we'll get to her in a little while. So, firstly, all the news stories have been coming out from, well, I don't want to say Western sources because it's not all Western media, but non-North Korean sources, shall we say? So, like the Japanese media today said that he's a vegetable at this point. What else? I think there was some other Asian stories coming out saying that he was having heart surgery, then he was dead because of that. It was botched, but then other people say he's fine. I don't know. What do you think, guys? As a resident Asia correspondent, Chicago. What do you think?
Well, I think he's alive. Because if he was dead, there would be a lot more chaos in North Korea than there is now.
There would be a ceremony. There'd be like a funeral and things like that.
No, there wouldn't be a ceremony yet. They would be waiting for a time to go and announce it so that it doesn't look like he died of coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could pull a Tito and try to hold the information of him being alive, even though he's not.
Kim Jong-un. So is he Kim Jong-un or is he Kim Jong-dun? I don't know.
Kim Jong was.
So I don't think he's dead, and I don't think he's a vegetable either. I mean, again, we don't know what's been going on because all we're getting is news from foreign sources about another foreign country. And that who are they? Who's telling them this? Who's feeding them the information? How do they know that Kim Jong Un is even dying or is dead? Who's telling them? And how are they getting away with it? Because surely the North Koreans are following traffic and communications.
They're
across
surprisingly
their country.
quiet.
Yeah, they've been unusually quiet about the death of a leader. They weren't quiet about the other guy who died before him, Kim Jong
gravely ill.
Gravely ill.
Now
yeah.
Kim Jong dead. Yeah.
Kim Jong dead. Yeah, they weren't quiet about him when he died. There was a big announcement, and then next thing you know, Kim Jong Un is the president. The great leader, and he was also 50 pounds lighter than he is now. Funnily enough.
Well, that was when the next leader was pretty much waiting to be it. We don't really know who the successor is properly.
It's his sister. The one that's been going viral recently.
Oh yeah, and people simp for her. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit fed up with that already. It's only early doors as well. It's only like just wait till she becomes leader. Oh my god.
She's not the head of the military.
Oh, she may be a communist. She may be a crazy authoritarian, but she's fit. She's not even fit. She looks like Skeletor.
Yeah.
Whoa, what was that?
Garage is open.
God damn it, Chicago. Seriously, like I don't get it. People have bad taste. Bad taste.
Well, people have taste varies, you know. I'm not gonna blame people for what they like, but I think you should not take someone
I'll
from who they
blame them
are.
if they liked communism.
Oh
But a
yeah,
lot of these
I'm
don't
talking
like
about
communism
look of
and they're
things.
simping.
It's like music, for example. I don't like communism, but communist music is fantastic.
No, it's really not.
Nah, it's
It's not.
overrated.
It's quite good.
Soviet wave is terrible. It sounds even more primitive than the 80s music in the West. At least in the West, it sounds good. Soviet
Red
music has
Army
aged
March is
terribly.
really good stuff, mate.
Hmm?
I'm talking about the marches.
I don't know what you're saying.
The military marches.
No, I'm just talking about their pop music. Soviet wave.
Oh, that's terrible.
Their
awful.
military music is nothing compared to
Well,
American
military music
either.
doesn't age. It's just, well, it's marching music. It's the same everywhere.
Soviets did quite a good job on it, though.
I don't know. I don't understand
Eh,
why any of this is.
they did
It's,
okay.
it's not as good as synthwave and stuff like that. Again,
Well,
Soviet wave
yeah.
isn't even called Soviet. Isn't even Soviet wave. It's
Soviet
just synth
wave
pop.
is just.
It's synth pop,
it's
but they've
just
renamed it.
Doomer music.
Well, it's not, no, Doomer music is Doomer music. That again, that's just the Smiths and
But
things
it's
like
Soviet
that.
Doomer music.
Although when I was a kid, when I was getting into the Smiths, it wasn't called Doomer music. It was just the Smiths. It was indie rock
Because
or
Doomer
whatever it would
wasn't
have been
really a
called.
thing yet.
Hmm?
Doomer wasn't really a thing yet.
It wasn't at all. No, I don't like the Doomer
Yeah.
meme. It's stupid.
Has a point, though,
Does it? What is the point? To give in?
that people should really stop being so black-pilled.
But that's not the point of the Doomer meme.
Kind of.
The Doomer meme is to embrace being black-pilled and nihilistic. That's the point.
Oh, well, can take it either way.
No, you really can't. It really only is about nihilism and accepting that nihilism and embracing it. It's not about getting rid of it. That's
But
the
it's
white
mostly
pill.
about
That's
laughing at them.
that's the what's the opposite of the Doomer Chicago? Oh, he's muted.
Bloomer.
Oh yeah, the bloomer.
I don't-
that's it. Yeah, it's the bloomer.
Oh,
I definitely see myself as one.
What, you're a bloomer?
Yeah. I'm extremely optimistic.
So what makes you optimistic then, mate?
I don't know. It just like it makes me happy being optimistic, so I'm optimistic.
So anyway, you're from Israel. So
Yes.
how's COVID over there? Whoa, Jesus Christ.
So the
Mhm.
government is pretty much paying everyone as if they were on a regular sick break, so people don't fire every. Don't know how long it's gonna last, but we're gonna slowly start getting to regular schedule soon.
Mhm.
Well, we have had about 10,000 cases in total. Sorry, about 1,000 cases in total.
1,000 was it?
Hold on, let me check again. I forgot because I don't really keep up with it. This is part of the reason why I'm a bloomer.
yeah, I'm somewhat of a bloomer, just not on politics.
I'm not a bloomer, but I'm not a doomer either. I'm a realist. There are things to be optimistic for and things not to be optimistic about, in my opinion. But like for example, I'm not optimistic about politics in this country, but I'm optimistic about potentially creating an opposition. But
So we got.
But that's
9,000 cases.
sorry, I'm talking. But
Sorry.
whether or not that opposition will succeed, though, I don't know. Basically. So what did you want to say? Go on.
We got 15,000 total cases, 6,000 recovered, and 200 deaths.
Not bad, considering it's a small country and very densely packed.
We are also the first one to start working on a vaccine.
So I heard. That's not to be confused with the one that Bill Gates is doing, right?
No, it's not the same. We have a really big medicine industry, one of our biggest export actually.
So how long do you reckon they'll be able to get this released?
I give it about July,
July, really? That quick?
July. Yeah.
Well, I'd rather
there
take
is
that
a
one
lot.
than
Who
the Gates
knows?
one.
Who knows? Maybe my governor, less charismatic Fred Flintstone, might actually open up my state before.
Well,
Literally,
flights
my
aren't-
state governor looks like Fred Flintstone.
well, my country's not looking at like it's getting out of lockdown anytime soon, and it's beginning to get very annoying. Like, I've been hearing a lot of stuff like, oh, it could be a year of being in kind of lockdown. Not a year of full lockdown, but like trying to transition out of it. And it's like, I'm sorry, but you instantly put us into lockdown. Why can't we instantly get back out of it? I don't know. And to be honest, people have been... I've not been very good at observing it, whether it's the authorities or just normal people. It's been a shambles.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's really been...
That's the issue with medium in these days. That's a big issue. It's all like bunch of chaos.
Yeah. So, and there's places in America where there's been hardly any deaths. There's been hardly any cases, and the lockdown. It's like, you don't need to be locked down. It's hardly there, if at all.
Well, they want to make sure it's not, though.
Maybe.
The issue is the 2 weeks.
So anyway, to get back on Kim Jong-un, if he is dead, do you think there'll be what do you think, Chicago? Do you think they'll think she will automatically become the leader, or is it not necessarily confirmed that she will be? Is this just somebody has said that she is?
There will definitely be a power struggle because there's also quite a few powerful generals.
Yeah, because who says that she is the designated successor? Like,
Well,
Kim Jong Un
Even if
hasn't designated a successor.
yeah, and yet people are saying that she's going to take over. That doesn't make sense. Again, there's a lot of hearsay here, and people just believing whatever they want to believe.
His wife also might take over because his wife, her family does a lot for the intelligence services.
head of the military, whoever it is.
He'll be the first to die.
Well, if she takes power, there will be a military coup.
Well, it depends if they like her or not.
They won't.
And it's pretty much a military dictatorship anyway.
Yeah, but
I mean, his
does
wife
she
is
know
pretty much
how
just
to
a
lead
pop
military?
star.
A pop star.
Yeah, because she's the main singer for a North Korean pop band.
Oh, so that's what Illustrated Maniac's been listening to. He listens to North Korean music. I don't know how he gets it, but so most likely he's been listening to her a lot.
You can actually easily find North Korean pop music. Just search for it in Chinese.
I just don't
It's
think
actually somewhat popular in China.
I think whoever takes control, I just hope they continue the thing that he was doing with Trump, and that is trying to open up, end the war with South Korea, because the war's not ended.
North Korea needs a Gorbachev.
Yeah, and Kim Jong-un was looking like he was going to be their version. Well, they're never
No.
going to have a Gorbachev, let's be honest. You would need to completely change their system in order to get a Gorbachev.
People said that about the Soviet Union.
Well, no, in the Soviet Union it was possible, but North Korea, not with their present system, when it's basically an hereditary monarchy. You're basically running. Again, this is what I say about monarchy. You just rolling the dice. We might end up with another Kim Jong Il or the day leader, the one who was before him.
See, whoever it is, the government should know about it. We don't really need to know, just the
And again,
government, because
if he was dead,
they
they
need to
wouldn't
know
hide
who's
it. They didn't hide it with the previous leaders. I mean,
I kind of disagree.
well, they didn't though, did they?
If it affects stability, they might.
But the thing is, there was purges and all sorts. It wasn't exactly stable when he took over. He was killing generals and officials left, right, and centre.
He was kind of orchestrating his takeover as well.
Well, he was a designated successor, though, so he didn't have to purge them, but he did anyway.
North Korea. How far have they gone?
Not much. They've not come very far.
I think reunification is possible in the next 100 years.
Well, I don't think they're going to be out of communism anytime soon. I think anybody who thought that opening up to the West will make them more, free, well, just look at China, not so much. No, it's not confirmed, Teabag. We don't even know if he's a vegetable or not at this rate.
We don't really know much about him. We don't even know when he was born.
We know when he was born.
No, we actually do not know the exact year, I think.
Really?
I'll check right now.
He's ageless. He has gone beyond
Well, he's in his 30s.
our
I know
mortal
that.
times.
He's in his 30s.
30s?
Yeah.
Looks older.
Yeah, because he's fat. Fat
So-
people look older.
Wait, no. Yeah, we think he was born either January 8th, 1983 or January 8th, 1984. We do not know which year it is.
We'll find out when he dies. If he dies, that is. He might not even be a vegetable. It might just be in a short-term coma. People, they do that sometimes. They put you in coma.
We didn't know when Kim Jong-il was born either.
So he could have been 80 when he died, or whatever. Who knows?
How big was the cult of personality around him?
Massive. It's always got to be big. I mean,
Yeah.
but
In that case,
you don't need to
I'd
ask that
really
question.
try to hide.
It's
Like, how big?
dictate. Silence your phone. So anyway, who wants to guess when Alcazar will come on? Like what time?
23 minutes.
Next week.
Jesus Christ, that is beginning to get really annoying now.
Yeah, I'm calling it drone strike.
Sorry,
now.
I'm on my...
Just put it on silent, it'll be fine.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Miss WhatsApp from friends?
You're right, it's not like I have friends anyway.
Exactly. Me too, my friend.
No, we can't even say friend because we're not friends.
Well,
With
like I
this
said,
joke.
well, like I said,
Yes, compatriot.
well, like I said, Teabag he's fat. He is in his 30s. He's just fat. It makes him look older, and he's got gout as well. But we don't mention gout, do we? It's
Oh my
like
god, he has gout.
Yeah, he has gout, but it's
Jesus.
one of those things that you don't mention, otherwise you get sent to the gulag. Because you know, like how you don't mention that Xi Jinping looks like
Xi Jinping.
yeah, he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Don't mention that, or otherwise gulag.
Oh my god, I just googled teenage Kim Jong-un and interesting.
What, he looked like a regular teenager?
No. It's all pictures of old him. He's
Yeah,
ageless.
He's
He was
not
born
ageless.
like this.
But anyway, yeah, he has been around for ages now. Teabag. I think it was 2013 was it? He's been around for a while. He'd be the shortest-lived leader of theirs because the others all lasted for decades, and because he's too fat and has gout, he's gonna die potentially anyway. But we don't know. But anyway, I would just caution people to just don't believe everything you well, you shouldn't anyway. You shouldn't believe everything you read in the newspapers, especially about something as secretive as a rogue state like North Korea. I mean, why should I trust the Japanese media, even though they're not too far away across the ocean? Why should I? Who are their sources? Or well, they can't say anyway, can they? Oh, apparently Rip Kim Jong-un is trending in the UK, but there's actually no news that he has actually died. People just saying that. I think it's just one of those joke trendings where people want to take the mickey out of him. But
Late 1st of April.
a late first of no, nothing like not like that. No, just British humour, I think. So Chicago, what else has been going on in the world other than COVID?
Governor Fred Flintstone of Illinois has extended our coronavirus lockdown to May 30th.
Seriously?
You know, despite the fact that we would be able to go and open up theoretically by May 14th, which by the way, him extending it is actually unconstitutional. He's unable to do that without federal approval, which they have not given.
Really?
So he has just broken the Illinois Constitution and should be impeached over it.
Do you reckon he will be?
No.
Apparently, according to jury rigging, I will officially be declared dead before Kim Jong-un is. Well, that could possibly be the case. He is 10 years older than me, so.
Well, your video posting schedule is so erratic that we could declare you to be dead.
Yeah, but if I post a video, then I'm not dead. But if I don't post a video, I am dead. That's how it works on the internet, you see.
So if you quit with YouTube, you're dead, I see.
Oh well, unless I'm in the comment sections of people's videos, which I am occasionally, then...
So if you get banned from YouTube, you're dead?
No, because I can start another channel. I've got several channels anyway, so there's that. But they'd have to strike down the others before I can be declared dead. But no, I have my ways. Speaking of being struck down, did you hear about Short Fat Otaku? He got suspended permanently off Twitter. Did you hear about that? Short Fat Otaku.
I don't care about what happens to Canadians. So.
Wait, tell me more about him.
Do you not know who he is?
No, I don't use Twitter that much, you see.
Oh, no, he's a YouTuber. He does dumping with Scrump.
He's the Canadian dude who does things with Sargon of Akkad.
Yeah, he does D&D. He does D&D videos of games. But anyway, he was making a joke about one of his friends who also co-hosts Dumping with Scrump. Have you heard of Lilith Lovett?
No.
Lilith what?
You know who Lilith is in Chicago?
No, I don't.
You know the Taiwanese trans girl.
I don't care about Taiwanese trans people.
But she's one of the co-hosts. But anyway, he was making a joke.
I don't even watch that show.
You should watch it.
Why do you think I know this?
No, alright, fair enough. Alright. Hashtag bandev, exactly. So anyway, what was I going to talk about in regards to COVID? There was the hack that happened. Well, hack. Like they released a bunch of.
Always happen.
Well, was it a hack? I don't know. I was watching some Ordinary Gamers video about this, and I don't know if it is a hack anymore because all they did was release a load of passwords and usernames. But that doesn't necessarily mean it was a hack.
What do you mean, the source code?
No, it wasn't the source code. No.
Oh,
that's a separate issue. That's Valve. That's not that's something else completely. But I'm talking about China, Wuhan, the Bill Gates Foundation hack. Basically,
did they release some numbers?
No, there was a hack.
Well, did they force them to?
What do you mean
force some numbers out? Force some numbers out? No.
I don't know what you mean by force them out. But anyway,
Hacks.
No, never mind. Anyway, I was watching some Ordinary Gamers, and there's like another post. It's like a forum post or some image board post, and I think it's a troll because apparently what they've named themselves is a project Epstein, and some of the passwords and the usernames were kind of suspect. Then there's a few that were named the same, but there was a few things that on Imgur that were interesting. So things that were going on in China, like some Weibo posts and things like that. And there was stuff that was leaked, but I don't think it's anything really concrete. And I was really disappointed because I was expecting to see a lot more. Like, was the virus something that was a man-made? Is it a super weapon, or is it something else entirely? I don't know. So what do you guys think?
I think it was a troll doing memes.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I think it was a fake.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm beginning to think at least some of it is fake. Some of it was real. They've said that some of those passwords have been leaked before, but that's probably because people use the same passwords and usernames on other websites. So when they get hacked, they get released. So some of them are legit, some of them are not so legit. But the fact that they've not been able to get anything out of it to get to the truth of the matter is very, very disappointing. I was expecting a hell of a lot more from that hack.
Hacks happen all the time, but usually when they try to get fame from it, it's...
I don't think it's about the fame. It's just about with 4chan. It's not about fame. Remember, because they're doing it to troll you. There's no one person doing this. This is a group of people, but we don't know who they are, and we'll probably never find out who they are. But
speaking of fake, something I wanted to talk about.
Whoops,
if you mind.
Mine went now.
Ooh.
The irony.
Who's laughing?
Who's laughing now?
Mitch?
Yeah. Touche. Hang on.
So
Muted.
people who think the coronavirus is a hoax. Yes,
It's not a hoax. It's obviously real. People are dying.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
People-
made by the Turkmenistani government to sell more Turkmen.
No, it was
some
Borat.
people- Some people think it was a hoax.
Yeah, but they're the people who think everything is a hoax. They're the types of people who think that the moon landing was a hoax, that 5G is not only going to kill us all, that some of them even think that 5G caused the coronavirus because reasons. I don't know exactly how an electronic device can create a virus out of thin air, but apparently it can. And what's happened is that there's a guy called David Icke. Have you heard of him?
No.
Well, he's just Britain's foremost conspiracy theorist, and he's been going around in American media, like all these and YouTube channels, and it's like this guy's not serious. This guy is a joke. He's a fraud, and I saw Valuetainment interview him.
He works for the BBC,
He did,
therefore
yeah.
he's automatically a fraud.
He only worked in the sports department. Oh, well, then again, yeah, sports media is full of frauds. People who make up rumours and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he was a host. No, he was a host. He was a commentator or something. I don't think he was really writing articles or anything like that. He lost it in the 90s. Something happened to him, and then he just started becoming this, well, what we now know as the tinfoil hat merchant. And I just saw Valuetainment, this YouTube channel. He did a really good video on the minimum wage that was posted in this server. He was interviewing him, the guy, and I'm like, what are you doing? Do you even know who this guy is? Obviously not. You just heard him talk about 5G, and you want to discuss how that could potentially be causing it? How? Oh no! Even Dankila's simping. No, don't simp. Stop the simp.
Dankila's simping for who?
For Kim Jong-un's sister.
Fuck's sake.
All right, time for us to nuke Scotland.
I'm calling the Mossad now.
Friendship ended with Scotland. Now Wales is my new best friend.
No, Israel is my new best friend.
It already is. Greatest ally.
No, Portugal is England's greatest ally.
Yeah.
Because they're the one who's...
ally.
No, they have been our greatest ally. They've been the longest ally for like several centuries. Like ridiculous
Only
amount
because
of time.
you both hate the Spanish.
No, it was really before the wars with the Spanish. It was during the 100 Years' War. I mean, there were Spanish states involved in that, but it wasn't Spain. Spain itself had not really been formed.
Well, it was Castile.
I don't know if we were necessarily at war with them, but there were certain kingdoms, yeah.
That alliance is still a thing, right?
What, Portugal and Britain? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the longest ally that we've
Oh
had.
yeah, well, mostly kept, just for the sake of longest alliance. To be
Well, it's not
honest.
for the sake of it. There's a reason why there are allies.
Well, NATO exists.
Well, you can get never just because NATO exists doesn't mean you can't get other. Here he is.
Oh, here he is.
You're late. Everybody
Do it without
bully him.
Okay, bye.
Whoa.
Oh, come
I said
on.
23 minutes. Hold on.
Did I trigger him
I
that
said
much?
23 minutes and I was completely correct. I was 100%.
Is he gonna come back or is he gone? Or is he... Yeah, Alcazar just appeared and now he left, guys. Rest in peace.
Mossad got him.
No, he left himself.
Because the Mossad got
No, he left himself.
I don't know.
Where is he? Is he actually gone for good?
Think so.
Did he rage quit? I'm confused now.
Did he? Bzzz. Yeah.
Come back, Alcazar. What are you doing?
Why am I constantly being tagged now?
Just put it
Oh
on
boy,
silent.
Oh my, it is time to tag Chicago.
Come back, Alcazar. What are you doing? I don't know why. I don't know why you just
God
left.
fucking damn it.
Is it really that hard to put it on silent? I just don't.
Yes.
I don't know. Apparently, there are people that think Bill Gates wants to cool the population with a bad vaccine, but chips and people. Well, first he's got to somehow mess it up. That will make it kill people. I don't see how a vaccine will cool the population. What is he going to infect people with actual COVID? I don't think that's the case.
And also you don't give vaccines to everyone at once.
No, you don't. Although there's some places who want his particular... I think there's some talk that some people want his vaccine to be, compulsory. But it's like, well, Israel is creating one anyway, so why don't we just test these vaccines to see which one is better? And I'd
test
rather...
them on anti-vax.
Well, the thing is, you have to go and see if the vaccine first, is detrimental to human health before you can go and, actually test it on human beings. Because remember, the first rule of the FDA is do no harm.
Mm-hmm. Also, apparently Alcazar is celebrating his dad's birthday.
Yeah, so if I were you, I would, stop pressuring him to come back.
Oh, I'm not. It's just that he could have told me that before, but it's alright. But anyway, you go have fun, Alcazar, and we'll reconvene next week. But anyway, yeah,
So that was the most Chad move possible.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all, but I am skeptical about Bill Gates' vaccine. Like, who's he got?
It's fine.
Well, I'm not so sure. Like, who's he got to create the vaccine? I mean, I know he's got money, but he's a tech
medical
guy.
companies.
But which ones? And are they good? Are they known for making vaccines?
Well, Bill Gates isn't the bad guy.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying that it could be. It's a
Kinda
case
tough.
of. It's a case of the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We don't know if the vaccine's going to be good or not.
Hey,
Yeah, well,
Mitch, what's the difference between
regulations.
God and Bill Gates?
God isn't rich.
God doesn't think he's Bill Gates.
To be honest, if it was Steve Jobs making the
Why should you bury Bill Gates 70 feet underground? Because deep down, he's a very good man.
Wait, what do you mean Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs dead.
Yeah, but I said if it was
Yeah.
him that was making it, I would be even more suspect because that guy he believed in a load of quackery.
Yeah, but Bill Gates did quite a lot of good stuff. He gives a lot of money to charities, development, so a whole bunch of stuff actually.
True, like I think partly the reason why he died, Steve Jobs, was because he was he was not interested in he didn't believe in modern medicine. Towards the end, he believed in like weird homeopathy type stuff, if I remember correctly.
Hmm. Don't remember.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of Steve Jobs. I think he took credit for a lot. You know, like Edison, he took credit for a lot of stuff that he didn't actually invent. So like Steve Wozniak pretty much did most of the work for early Apple,
Yeah.
and Steve Jobs took the credit for that. Like I'm sure he was a decent ideas guy, but like the actual technical skill and stuff like that was, and well, a lot of the ideas that created things like the Apple 1, 2, whatever, all came from other people.
Well,
He was good at
when
marketing
you
it. That's what he was good at.
exactly when you're good at marketing and managing what people want and will want, which is what he did well. He knew what people will want.
Well, he knew what the middle class wanted. The Silicon Valley types.
Yeah. Well, pretty much the whole world now has phones that pretty much he marketed.
But Gates, though, he could code, and he could create
Yeah.
the products.
Well, look at Microsoft once he left, and well, even while he was in charge of Microsoft, they had fuck ups like Windows Millennia, which blue screened on stage.
I don't remember that. Did it really?
You can look at
Yeah, it
YouTube.
did.
Oh my god, that is such a Windows thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get some Windows are fantastic, and then you get really shitty ones.
Yeah, I remember
and then you get
XP was
fantastic
good.
ones.
XP was
XP
good.
was good.
95
Vista.
was good. 98 was kind of there. I don't remember 98
Remember-
being particularly bad. So
Remember Vista?
yeah, I remember Vista. Oh my god,
Terrible.
the adverts.
Yeah. See, it was gonna be amazing. It was gonna be like the best thing. Now Microsoft has an agreement with pretty much fucked up companies that every like 3 or 4 years they have to give them a new operating system.
Windows 7
So-
was really good. I remember that. I should have
Yeah,
kept it
because
for a couple more
Windows
years.
7, Windows 7 is actually just a fix of Windows Vista.
Really? So that's what Vista should have been?
Do you know why Microsoft missed the mobile mark?
Hmm.
Because they had to develop a Windows 7.
Then they
because
did
Vista
Windows
was such
8
a
and,
fuck up.
they were trying
Yeah.
to bring in this weird mobile format to
Yeah,
Windows.
and they were too late for the mobile.
Yeah, it didn't work. And then Windows 10 is basically what
And
Windows
then
7
they
should have
found-
evolved into.
The CEO, I think, what was his name? God damn it. Forgot his name. Anyway, they got rid of that CEO who fucked up Windows 8 and missed the mobile and everything. Like, dude, you fucked up 2 operating systems, you fucked up the mobile, get the fuck out. Got some Indian in, and he pretty much sent Microsoft to the top 1 again. He's pretty much conquering the cloud market.
Mhm.
Everything is gonna sit on cloud eventually. Even Google is gonna eventually sit on cloud.
Mixed
Microsoft
Cloud
Cloud,
WAN.
No, it's the Microsoft Cloud. It's the MS Cloud.
But the one thing I don't like
They
about
have a name
Windows
for-
10 is the spying. Well, everybody's spying on you, even Apple
I
is.
love Windows 10 actually.
Of course,
And
Apple was
it
spying
doesn't
on
spy
you.
on you.
Why wouldn't they spy on?
Well, they've
Listen,
had a lot of
Windows 10
issues, haven't they, with governments trying to ask them for data. But
Mitch, Windows 10 doesn't spy on you. The things you use spy on you.
well,
like,
they can still get data off my computer. But
Well, no, the data they get is mostly for statistics and stuff, so they can improve. But people overreact, I think.
maybe.
Microsoft doesn't take your data. The data.
Teabag
most
says
company-
that. Sorry. Teabag says God isn't rich. Hardly surprising considering all the funds he makes goes to fixing the church roof. Speaking of church roofs, how many shekels does it cost to fix a church roof?
Yes.
Yes.
How
So-
much you got?
Well, only pounds at the moment.
Converts to shekels.
I don't. What do you even use shekels?
Mitch,
Yeah, we use new
Yeah,
shekel.
they used the Israeli
First-
new shekel.
Pound.
Because the first shekel was a terrible disaster, made us into the top one in inflation.
Apparently, £1 is 4.35 Israeli new shekels.
Yeah. Wanna know what happened with the first shekel?
Hmm.
It's when we went directly from a hardcore socialist economy to a hardcore capitalist one in like one day.
Wow.
And we went hyperinflation. We were number one on inflation in the early 80s.
What, even more
And-
than Japan would later become?
Yeah, no, we don't think so. It wasn't that bad, but it was quite bad. So they made a shekel, and that was a disaster because it even made more inflation. So they made new shekel,
Is this just
and that
your
was
version
fine.
of New Coke?
Pretty much.
All the shekels. See, I'm shocked that the Israelis, of all people, didn't know what to do with their own money.
Yeah. Well, see, we were actually very socialist until the very late 70s, till 1970.
I can't believe that. That goes against
were-
so many stereotypes, though, doesn't it? Well, actually, no, it depends what
I will
kind of
give you what,
stereotype,
though.
doesn't it?
I will give you what though. We were more socialist than many of actual socialist nations.
I mean, the kibbutz, for example, that was basically a
The
communist
kibbutz
thing.
is basically communism.
But even they failed. Like,
Well,
they're used
no, they
often as
didn't.
like an example.
It's
Like,
extremely surprising. They didn't fail, and you
They
know why?
didn't?
Because
I thought they
people
did
can
fail.
go whenever they want out and in. They can go to do shopping in other places around in a capitalist nation.
so how do you set up a kibbutz then? Do you have to buy the land, or do you just
Well,
go wherever?
no, you pretty much go live there. Well, it's I don't know. I don't plan to move to it anytime soon. I have friends who live in a kibbutz though, but it's very interesting because you look at it and you think it's working communism, but it's not because communism doesn't work. It's basically a commune in the middle of a capitalist society, which makes it work.
So kind of like what's in America, all these weird like hippie communes.
It's very weird because people have huge freedom there, but everything is provided by the kibbutz. So the food is provided by the kibbutz. They can make their own food in their own kitchens, but in the evening they go to a massive dinner with the entire kibbutz. They don't own their own cars. The kibbutz provides them cars, but the reason it can work is because it's inside a capitalist society. So whenever they want, they can go out to the supermarkets of the big cities and go shopping in places, all that stuff.
Interesting. So like
It's very interesting.
I've watched a lot of Skeptor back in the day, and I've talked to you about it. You know, his YouTube channel, and one of the things he always mentioned. Yeah, I'm going to go into the Palestine question with this question. But you're younger than him by 20 years, so what I want to know is, are you as black-pilled as he is on that? Because he thinks that there's not going to be peace anytime soon in his lifetime.
No. I think there is gonna be peace, and we shouldn't accelerate it. We should just continue status quo. Don't settle anywhere. Don't advocate for wars. Don't start fucking around with each other, because eventually they're gonna westernize. Next generation will not want to fight for some stupid cause. In both sides, by the way. The young generations continually push for more and more peace on both sides. Once we actually try to reach an agreement, the people who wanted to reach for peace and didn't give a fuck about stupid ideas, well, they all got killed. That's what happened in the Oslo agreements. So we just need to wait, give it time. Eventually it's gonna be peaceful.
It's just that he thinks that because of, the way they're ran, with Hamas and all that, and the propaganda that they do
that's
pump
Gaza.
in.
Gaza is a completely different story because Gaza isn't really Palestine; it's a local dictatorship.
Well, he's more.
Pretty much call it the Gaza state.
It's less about Gaza, more about just the whole,
The
the
West
whole
Bank.
Palestinian thing. He thinks that because of the way they're so hell bent on destroying Israel, it's literally the reason why the whole end goal of Hamas and some of the other parties around
Many
there who control the Palestinian
Radical
authority.
Palestinians.
Well, their end goal is to destroy it.
Yeah.
So
That's
there
the
can't
leader.
be any peace until that's not a goal anymore.
It's the leaders, not the people. The people want peace, and with every generation, more and more people don't give a fuck about crazy. Let's destroy the other
Is
side.
that true?
Yeah.
Do you? I don't know if,
Yeah.
if you're able to talk to them or not, but have you talked to some?
We are. Well, yeah, I actually had a Palestinian in my class.
Is
back
it
in the
like
day.
Palestinian, not like Arab Israeli or anything like that?
Palestinians,
Oh wow.
Arab Israeli, Palestinian.
Hmm.
Yeah. People. Oh, hey.
Hello,
Alakazai.
Kazai.
Bill
I thought
Nye
you
the
were.
Black Guy.
I thought you were celebrating your dad's birthday.
Yeah, but like we had one of those parade things,
Hmm.
like you've been
Parade.
seeing. So a bunch of our friends came by,
No.
and then a few of them came into the
You
house,
have
and
friends?
my parents do. They said hi.
Hey, we're your friends.
Then my
come
dad
on.
went back to work,
Kind of.
so now I can be here. How much
Oh,
have I
that's
missed?
good.
Hello.
You missed the Kim Jong Un discussion. If you want to talk about that a little bit more, we didn't
I
get
hope he
your
dies.
take. Well, yeah, we all. Well, I don't know. I mean, me being my age and remembering how the Iraq War and Afghanistan went down, maybe we do need a dictator over there that will stop the crazies. Because he's not even the craziest person there, believe it or not. He really isn't.
It's even worse, but
it's not
still,
like the
I don't
people
like
of
him.
North Korea.
I know. I mean, I'm not going to shed any tears, but I am worried because
Just make sure it's a good succession.
well, again,
Well, the
we don't
replacement.
know because
Yeah.
there's no designated successor yet. People are saying it's going to be his sister, but it could
No,
easily
it's
be
not.
any. He has
It's
several
not.
sisters. He's got loads
More
of siblings.
female dictators.
He's got like
No,
what 2,
it's
3.
not gonna be. Come on, people are just saying it because she looks kind of fine. That's all.
It's just that he's got several siblings who could all vie for power. Like,
Oh. Well, isn't his sister like the oldest or whatever?
I don't know.
The sister everybody's talking about?
Thing is, she's not the one that was at the Olympics, was she? In Sochi. Is that a different one? Because she doesn't look like her, but
that's not.
that one I would be afraid of because she's the one who runs the propaganda wing. Or at least she works for them. And that just reminds me of
Depends on
Beria.
who she works for.
Have we ever had any female dictators throughout history?
Queen Anne.
Yeah, I think.
Let's keep it that way.
Well, they've had absolute monarchies who ran as a tyranny. So, like Hawaii,
Yeah,
their queen was pretty authoritarian.
Well, wasn't Queen Anne pretty?
No, Queen Anne was not. Queen Anne
Oh.
was not an authoritarian monarch. That was. She was a
Queen
constitutional
Anne was
monarch.
just dumb.
You mean Queen Mary? Queen Mary was the authoritarian
Oh.
one. That was 200 years before. But
Yeah.
no, Queen Anne was like the queen. Actually, no, she had more power than the Queen has now, but not by much.
Well, I mean, she was the last Stuart monarch, and the Stuarts tried to
Yeah.
be more authoritarian.
Well,
Angela
by
Merkel.
blood, she was the last Stuart monarch. But by then it was different.
Yeah, by then, well, it was pretty much they were becoming more and more Dutch because of William of Orange.
But then he died. Then Anne died without an heir, I think, and then they brought in her cousin, George. I think it was a cousin. I don't know.
trying to think.
No,
Yeah,
they
well,
brought in Georg, Elector of Hanover.
Georg.
Oh, have you guys talked about the Britishers' video and how much hate he's getting for it?
Oh, I didn't get a chance to talk about that because
what did
I was
he
talking about
say?
it yesterday though in private. I've not actually had a chance to see it all the way through, so I'm not going to
Oh, I
comment on
have.
how good it is.
I don't even watch the Britishers' videos, so...
Oh, I watched the video through.
Well, what happened was you probably heard anyway, Chicago and Roy, you or Shane, you'd like to you'll be interested in this. So
I'm interested.
basically, it's about
of course you are.
ethno-nats.
Of course you are.
You know the type.
Boy.
You know the
Boy.
type, Judeus. You know the type.
Yeah, I definitely know the type.
So apparently his video. It's interesting though because in his description he said they're rising, but they're not rising. It's the same people, and they just formed a new group called Patriotic Alternative, which is
Meaningless.
yeah, it's even more. It's even more cringy than the BNP with even less pull, and they've just been really active again on Twitter and trying to
Think
gripe
about
us.
them.
So it's been like
They're really noisy.
yeah, they are noisy, yeah.
Talk to talk, but no.
Yeah.
And he just made a video on it because he was noticing it in his, in the communities that he frequents and seeing all these arguments. So he decided to make a video on it, I guess, right, Alcazai?
Yeah. Well, also, so I have a Twitter thread where I went through the comment sections of a video response to him, and they're quite interesting.
Okay.
No, they're funny. They're all German nationalists, even though they proclaim to be British patriots.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Imagine
Basically,
being German.
yeah, the argument is that the so-called British nationalists aren't very good nationalists because their worldview is the German worldview from 1933. It's basically what it is, and it's true. Like they simp for Hitler, not for Churchill. Although some of them do try to claim Churchill as one of their own, but it's kind of like black nationalists saying that everybody, well, black supremacists really, isn't it? Saying that everybody is like black or something, like Beethoven, black, Shakespeare, hell yeah.
No, that was just a meme.
Like they always try to claim that the average British person in like the 1930s thought like them, and it's like no, they weren't ethno-nationalists.
Hell, even
They were more racist,
nationalists,
yeah,
the
but everybody
fascists
was.
in Britain. Even the fascists in Britain at the time weren't Nazis, really.
No, they were just fascists, weren't they?
Yeah,
There is a slight difference.
Nazis.
There's slight differences between the two, but it's very minor. Economically, they're pretty much the same. It's more culture and race that they disagree on, I would say.
Yeah.
That's the primary difference. But as for
Not really
Mosley,
disagree on, just
I think Mosley was
slightly.
more racial than he was cultural, but I don't know. But yeah, well, where was I going with that? Yeah, so
Mosley was very socialist, actually.
where was I going with that? Crap, I forgot my train of thought. Alcazai, take over. I'm having a brain fart.
Speaking of like people like the Patriotic Alternative, I found a new weird fascist organization that nobody's ever heard of. In January, I talked about it a little
It's
bit.
called Market of Ideas.
Other than us, of course.
Chicago, what are you saying? Have I been radicalized?
Oh fuck, we've been indoctrinated.
No, it's just a thing.
Well, with you, we've been subverted.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sheen has dominated us all.
Oh, yeah.
Sheen. The Sheeno state.
No, the sheaf no state, as
No,
in,
but-
as in,
Expand Israel.
I
Sheen,
found
more like
this.
Sheen.
Yeah, I found this movement called the New Columbia Movement, and they're like very overtly fascistic. Like on their website, they're unironically quoting Father Charles Coughlin.
who was that again? Was that a KKK guy? I can't remember.
No, he was a Catholic priest. He wouldn't be in bed with the KKK, but he was an anti. So there's that.
He was Catholic,
Yeah. He was, they got some quotes from other people. They pretend to be pro-America when they want to secretly create, a fascist
Oh, by
dictatorship.
the way,
but
Voltaire's Ghost gave me a shout out.
he did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Voltaire's Ghost.
'Cause
Oh
I
wait, that
I-
means he's seen me.
Well,
Oh no.
I sent
Mitch,
him.
you're getting
I
very
told
famous,
him.
yo.
I told him about
Sorry.
the leaks that happened. With in regards to China, and apparently he's managed to find stuff. Because I couldn't find anything in that. We thought a lot of it was fake, like with the passwords and stuff. But apparently some things he's found.
Oh yeah,
some stuff.
the hacking or whatever.
Yeah, like I think some of it was legit, like the Imgur files and pictures that were
I'll
going
have to
around.
I'll have to look more into that.
I'm not. I
So-
think
When did he shout you out in his latest video?
just now apparently, Vulpez, Fox Troika, he was telling me about it just now. Thank you.
Oh,
You're
because he has
getting
a
famous, you already
video he
released, like-
uploaded just an hour ago, so I don't know.
I'll watch
Maybe
it though.
should-
I will watch it, and then I will.
I'm gonna watch it
squeal.
too after this.
I will squeal. I will squee.
You have a dislike, you're getting famous.
Oh, we always get dislikes. Interestingly enough, dislikes have been going up recently.
Well, the ethnonats have found our disdain for them.
But I'm not.
They're going around to us.
I mean, don't get me
I
wrong.
think
I
the
have a
Irish
side.
farmers have found
The Irish farmers, Irish Yoda, bless me with your job-seeking talents, or lack thereof. Go on, indeed, I must. Find a job, I will. Are you aware of Keith Woods, by the way, Shane?
He's a fascist, isn't he?
I would say more National Socialist. He would probably say third positionist. But
He's Irish,
Yeah,
so
he's
therefore
Irish,
his
yeah.
opinions don't matter.
The pride.
oh, he's gonna shout racist.
Yeah, Voltaire's Ghost shouted you out on Twitter 2 days ago.
Woo! Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that.
I just want to tell him, give him a chatty ass about truth only in the world.
I've been slacking on those memes recently.
I love how I almost started a fight between him and Academic Agent by asking him in Hebrew if he has a job.
Really? Oh yeah, I remember that. I made a video on it that's never going to be released properly. That was when
Yeah.
he was like, "There's you got to be careful now. Watch yourself." Ooh.
My optics.
Yeah, he basically kind of, but I don't think he intended to threaten to dox AA. I don't think that was his intention. He's just stupid. And AA's fans
Well,
can be
he's
very overly
Irish, so that's
protective.
besides the point.
True. What's worse is he's Southern Irish.
Oh
Oh my
god.
god! So the
How
part that
Southern?
the part that should be turned into an RAF bombing range.
Yeah, because they don't have much
Not
of an.
even what that.
I was shocked that they don't have much of an army or an
Well,
air
of course
force.
Well, they don't have to because they just drift off of the UK.
Which makes you
Yeah.
wonder why they left in the first place. They could have had home rule.
They left in the first place because Ayama and Dave Valera kept on crying about
Well,
some
and
Portuguese dude.
And because.
Oh yeah, he was
potato-
Portuguese, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't even Irish.
Who? Amon de Valera?
Yeah.
He was Spanish, not Portuguese.
Well, you know.
No, his father was Portuguese.
No, his father was Spanish.
Talking
Okay,
about
I
the-
will decide this.
the-
My Irish first prime.
Well,
I
it's
thought
according
it
to the
was
rumors.
Spanish.
We barely know anything about his father.
What was
Is
he
this
called
about
again?
Irish
Um,
war?
Amon de Valera.
Amon de Valera.
I've got to try and find him now.
He was born Edmund, but
Oh,
he.
Eamon de Valera. Maybe I
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, his mum's from Ireland, and his dad was a Basque.
Ah,
His dad was Basque.
Of
so
course he
he's the
likes to blow
worst
up
type of
stuff.
Spaniards too.
A communist, yeah.
So of course he likes to blow up stuff.
Yeah.
Well, was he part of the IRA? He was part
Yeah.
of Fianna Fáil.
Yeah, he was.
So
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
was he? Yeah.
It goes in the family.
Well, I actually like Amon de Valera because he tried to
Eamon.
convince the Irish people that Franco wasn't really the best guy. Because Franco was a hardline Catholic, and a lot of the Irish liked that about him. He was like, whoa, this Franco guy he ain't what he all chalked up to be.
You know what's weird?
Yeah, but he's best. Therefore, his opinions don't matter.
You know what's weird about his election as president? Apparently, Sinn Féin won a huge majority because we executed the leaders of the 1916 Rising. And it's like, well, the penalty for betrayal, for stuff like that, was death. What were you expecting?
Yeah,
They were just
Ireland
going to get away with it.
Yeah, but Ireland was gonna be independent either way.
Nothing is
It was
inevitable.
pretty inevitable, but it was pretty inevitable.
No, because before World War One, the debate was home rule, which is basically what devolution
Yeah,
is now.
after World War One, though.
Well, again,
That's
nothing is inevitable, is it? So, I mean, literally, a few months before World War One started, people didn't think there was gonna be a world war. That's how
Yeah.
things are not inevitable. Things can change at
Well-
a moment's notice.
I think World War One was inevitable.
I think World War One sped up the chances of a not United Ireland, sorry, independent
Yeah.
part of it. Ulster
Yeah.
was never going
Sped up
to leave.
the process.
Ulster was never going to leave. That's where
Yeah.
most of the loyalists live.
Exactly.
Although interestingly,
Ulster Plantation Gain, Ulster Plantation Gain.
did you know though most of the British Army's leadership were Irish, well, Northern Irish, like Protestants, maybe some Catholics, but they were mainly Ulstermen.
What's his face?
Well,
Haig was Scottish from the Lowlands.
Haig was okay.
Yeah, he's Lowland
my
Scot.
Was Montgomery Northern Ireland?
No,
Oh my
he was
gosh,
English.
that's
He
a
wasn't a
fantastic
general in
game.
World War One. He was English. It was.
Oh, I thought you were talking about World War II.
It was Go, I think, who was Northern Irish. Go.
enlighten me on this. In World War Two, was Ireland very pro-British?
Oh no, he was English. But there was a few who were Northern Irish. Loads of them were Northern Irish. There was like even a mutiny at one point because of Home Rule. Because I think there were some potential changes amongst the officer corps or something, and they were not happy. But when I found that out, because I was reading up on World War One a lot a few months ago, last year, and surprising amount of Irishmen. Not many Scottish people though, mainly Irish in the officer corps, and the rank and file was drawn from pretty much wherever.
Oh yeah.
And it's just weird. It was one community in one small province in one small country gives you most of your officer corps for a world-spanning empire.
Yeah. Well, the British weren't really preparing for a total war. They were preparing for colonial wars. This is why they had a standing army of like 300,000 men.
I think it was smaller than that. I mean,
Yeah.
overall it was 300,000, but they're all spread
But
out.
it was
over...
extremely professional.
Oh yeah, I mean they were underestimated by the Germans. We shot them to pieces
Maybe
numerous
they-
times.
Fire faster than machine guns with Lee Enfields.
Yeah, well, we had machine guns.
Germans
It's just that they
would
thought
have
we had.
machine gun fire.
They thought we had more machine guns than we actually had.
You didn't have that many machine guns actually. Well, not in Europe.
Not as much in Europe, but that changed eventually. Anyway, we also adopted the Lewis gun, which helped a lot, which meant we didn't have to keep bringing up Maxim guns. It was one
You
of the
didn't
first.
really need those anyway. Well, with the professional army.
You would for trench warfare and for war of movement.
Yeah. Not for the first bunch of months, which was actually a
They would have
war
been better
movement.
though. They wouldn't have had the range.
Yeah,
but
of course.
You could outflank somebody with a.
Well, it fired the same rounds as a Lee Enfield.
Yeah, and so does the Maxim. I think the Maxim back then.
The
Did.
Maxim, not the
Well-
Lewis. I think
Well,
the Lewis
our
fired-
British version of it, because every gun is different in regards to
Well,
what
because
rounds it can take.
The Maxim was actually a private invention,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I mean, I'm calling it a Maxim, but I don't think it was a Maxim at that time. I
It
think
was a Maxim.
it was something else. Let me British. Oh no, it was a Vickers.
Maxim.
We used the Vickers. That's what we used.
That was after the Maxim, I think.
No,
well,
maybe I
it was
can't
a
remember.
license.
I don't know.
Damn it, it's all complicated.
Look, it all looks the same.
It does pew 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 pew.
All right. We've hit an hour.
We have.
You want to
hit
say?
an hour.
Oh damn.
But I
Final
want to give
words?
you a bit more time, maybe a couple more minutes.
Me?
Oh, by the way, I need to apologise to Politicrat because there was some communication error. He was meant to on Beyond today, but I completely forgot, and I confused him with you, Shane. So
Wait, has Politicrat been on already? I can't remember.
yeah, about 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I've complete and utter mess up on my end. Sorry. We'll make it up to you. Don't worry.
Good job.
It's just that he was hoping that he'd be on at 4, but obviously we're not going to be on by then. But I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
So anyway, how old's your dad, Alkazai?
He's 58 today.
Oh, he's older than. Oh no, he's younger than my dad. I keep forgetting. My dad's not. My dad is 60 in 2 months. Oof.
Yeah.
Boomers.
Boomers. Well, he's a late boomer, so.
Yeah, so's my
Yeah.
dad.
Assume what's mine.
What is it with late boomers, man?
I don't know. My dad is actually quite fine.
They're fashionable right now, I guess. I don't know.
How old's your dad, Shane?
52.
Oh, he's a Gen Xer.
Yeah, that's Gen
Yeah,
X.
quite
That's
young,
not a late
actually.
boomer.
That's my mum's
Oh, yeah,
age,
it's
I think.
not-
That's early Gen X.
My grandfather was a boomer though. On my father's side, he was so based. It's insane.
God, imagine that. Like, you've got a
He
young
was a
If he
grandson.
was born before 1945,
He was
Oh.
not a
born
boomer.
in the but
All
wait.
people born after 1945 can cook.
Wait, no, he's not a boomer. He's before boomer. He was born in the Battle of
Silent
Moscow.
Gen.
And then before that, it was Greatest Generation.
You know what I was thinking of recently?
Silent Gen was World War One.
No,
wait,
that was
no.
the Lost.
Before World War
That's
Two.
the Lost
Sorry,
Generation.
that was the Lost, and then Silent, and then
No,
Greatest.
then Greatest Generation, then the Silent Generation.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah, because the Greatest Generation were fighting age by the time they were.
Ah,
But,
right.
you know,
And
but,
it's Silent Generation is because I think their name comes from the fact that while they were
The
coming of age,
fact that we
McCarthy,
bombed them all out as kids.
Hold on, let me check that actually.
you know what's
that and
interesting?
McCarthy was like, quote unquote, silencing people or whatever.
But you know what's interesting though? Pete Townsend,
Damn, we
who was
should have
in the Who.
continued doing that.
Pete Townsend, who was in the Who, he mentioned there was a difference between people like him, who was born 1943, something like that, and people who were born after 1940. I think he said 44
yeah.
or 5, something like that. And I don't think he's necessarily talking about boomers and silent gen.
Oh, Nazis born after 1945 can't logistics. All they know is Hearts of Iron 4. Eat hot chip and lie.
Eat hot chip and lie. But he was mentioning there was like a slight
Silent.
personality and cultural difference between people like him born before 44 or whatever, and I think it's how much you remember of the war, how you experienced it, and how it affects you subconsciously. I think he was trying to get at. So there's a difference even within the silent generation and early boomers about their their worldviews and things like that, even from such a young age, which I thought was interesting. And he said that he's talked to other people about it, similar age to him, and they've mentioned that too. I don't know if this is a British thing or not, but
How's your Silent Generation?
My
Actually?
grandpa was like, I think he was he remembers a bit of the war because he was only like 9 when it ended.
Oh God.
And he also grew up in the latter half of the Great Depression when things were starting to turn around.
Yeah. See, my family. Well, one part was, I think, Silent Generation. The other part was Greatest Generation. Anyway, all Holocaust survivors, and I think one part was in the Red Army.
Oh, you have Holocaust survivors in your family?
Well, he's Jewish.
We had my great grandmother died in about 2 years ago.
Mm.
She was 90 something. She was a Holocaust survivor.
I've only met one Holocaust
yeah.
survivor.
Basically, all the families were.
Did they
killed.
survive the
They're
encounter?
survivors.
Well, yeah, but he didn't go to like camps or anything. They escaped before it happened, but like his father almost.
I used to know a Polish World War Two. Sorry, vet. Not World War One. He's still alive.
World War One vets are all dead.
Yeah, he was World War Two. I just made a mistake. I nearly said
Yeah.
World War One. He is still
Are there
alive.
any
He was
World
called
War One
Joe, by the
survivors?
way. Just Joseph Joe, whatever. People just called him Joe.
Hmm.
I don't know what he thought
Yeah,
as. I don't know if he was infantry or army, but
Yeah.
what
I had a whole bunch.
He didn't sound
Holy
Polish.
shit.
He didn't sound Polish though, which is weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a part of my family were a communist Jews in Germany. Not
I
something
hope that
wanna
you
be-
bred the left wing out of that.
Yeah, I'm not them. But it's actually very interesting because my great grandfather was an economist. He was communist, which is surprising. But German universities, what can I say? But that's not something you want to be in Nazi
Frankfurt.
Germany, a communist Jew. So they fled to the Soviet Union.
Imagine being a fascist Jew in Germany.
Oh, there were
Yeah.
plenty of A lot of Jews actually were very much in favor of the Nazi Party.
Yeah. People don't know that, and it's not because
They thought that if they are gonna support them, they got so used to
people
anti-Semitism
forget
that
that the
they thought it
Jews
was
were
just
also
the
German
usual.
nationalists. People forget that there were loads of
Yeah.
Jewish World War One vets who were just as angry
Yeah,
and believed
yeah,
in
fuck
the.
them.
Yeah, well, yeah, a couple million, I think, men, maybe 100,000, something like
Yeah,
that. Which
but
is a
see, the Jews wanted to be part of the state. They wanted to be. They didn't want to be called Jews. They wanted to be where they live in. So they wanted to be Germans, French, all that stuff.
yeah, and they believed in the stab in the back and all that. But the next thing you know, you're being blamed for it. It's like, wait, what? I was stabbed in the back
what?
too. Well, even though it was
Jewish
a load of
life.
bollocks, they weren't stabbed in the back. They
Yeah.
were truly beaten. Well and
During the
truly.
First World War, there was a huge inquiry in the German army about the accusation that Jews are not fighting in the front line, and that numbers are inflated. And turned out it was the exact opposite. Jews were absolutely in the front lines and stuff.
But you
In
wouldn't
the
have
West,
known,
by the
would
way.
you? Anyway, because
Jews weren't really sent to the East.
sent to the West, really.
Yeah, because in the East there were a bunch of crimes against other Jews.
Yeah. But then again,
Even in the
like
World
they're not your part of your country. Then you may not even be related to them anyway. So it's like it wouldn't have mattered to them.
Yeah.
I think.
The Jews in Europe at the time really wanted to be part of the nations they're in. Rather than being called Jews, they wanted to be.
Yeah, I've known that the German Jews were very big nationalists, patriots.
Until they started getting genocided, of course.
Yeah.
By the way, one of the reasons they didn't really flee at any signs, they thought all the anti-Semitic stuff was, your usual vote winner stuff in Europe.
So, according to sources in U.S. intel, Kim Jong-un is dead.
He is actually dead.
According to U.S. intel, yes. Damn.
I don't know
That
if you
was
hear.
fast.
So he is actually dead. This is confirmation.
Well,
According to U.S. intelligence, yes.
Well, I'm gonna call for premature Fs in the chat. There you go.
No Fs. No Fs. What's the opposite
press
of
F
F?
on the world's smallest
G in the
keyboard.
chat.
An F can be
G in the
ironic.
chat for good.
G in the chat.
G in the chat
No,
for good riddance.
Let me
don't
press F on the
work.
world's smallest keyboard.
But anyway,
According to Fox News, he's in a vegetative state.
yeah, well, he's basically dead.
Well, Fox News just quoted Japanese news.
That's ironic. The fat man's a vegetable.
Well, anyway, I think on that bombshell, we shall end it. So,
Yeah.
Chadus Judeus, final words. What is your final
Oy
words?
vavoy.
Of course. Mr. Chicago Liberal.
Give me my shekels back, Chadus Judeus.
I thought you were going to say phone go brr.
All right.
No.
And finally, Mr. Late Bloomer.
If Kim Jong-un is dead, that's a good thing. And also, a message to Mark Collette. Hal ihr dem Siegerkranz.
I don't know what that means, but at least you admit you're German.
It's making fun of him, I swear.
And anyway, guys,
It's just like a fuck people for fun, yes. Fuck males for fun.
and remember, and for my words, remember, always wash your hands. See you later, guys.